All right, I'm glad to be here with Flair. I used them once I learned about them and Jim had taught me. I used them on my advanced horses, and I always had more juice at the end than I had ever had, even from 1978 when I didn't know about Flair. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm going to get to walk with, of course, with people and tell them that even their lower level horses need them. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, now looking at this fence, the other key thing is your last walk. If you get a shot, sometimes I didn't always have the shot because I got to ride more than one horse. But you always, on a course like this tough, it is worth it. One time I didn't do it, and we had a wreck because the horse just flipped because it was dark, and he didn't see it, right? So you want to walk. If you look at this ox is beautiful. You can see it. That's got shadows. That's a tougher fence. Plus, if you look back here, you're going downhill. First one, you're going up. So here, they're really rolling. When you're jumping a downhill oxer, it doesn't matter what distance. You just slow that elbow up, look at the back rail, you're going to cover the width. Uphill oxers, you never grab a big distance because that's too much effort and you could turn over. So you always, if you see a big distance, say, sorry, I'm going to wait for the second distance, and you go to the base and then the fence isn't as wide. But when you're going downhill like this, you can let them rock and roll down it. But because you're going downhill, it's about this far out, you got to slow that elbow up so they stop doing this as they're galloping. So you go from your galloping position now to your jumping position, slow your elbow, and they go, oh. Well, if you kept doing this, they'd be like this, and then it's 50-50 luck whether you get a good distance. Okay?
There's another good point about that too, when he said about the horse looking down to the base of the fence if you're not supporting him off the ground. Because the next fence is almost in relation with this jump.
True.
Very open oxer. And if you drop your horse here, they're sure to look under those open rails there. And that's one of the scarier fences early on in the course to gallop down to. You don't want to see too much of the gallop change here from fence to fence. You don't want to see people coming through the turn, chickening down to the next jump. You want to see that every jump comes to continuation out of the gallop stride from fence 1 to 2. You want to support them off the ground here, like Ralph said. So that's going to help out for those next open rails. We're going to walk right through past the open rails. We'll get a nice little view of that, but we'll continue our walk on to the next jump up to the water.
You mentioned time of day. The lighting can change.
Yes.
You walk your time of day.
Absolutely. The one time in Kentucky I didn't, when we used to be back where the other indoor ring was, it was a big sinkhole, black forest. I walked, it was perfect. This horse is a good jumper. I go, but I walked it early, not at my time. I go there, it is blacked out. Well, I was already committed. So I went this. I caught the top rail, and it went down into the ditch. You got to walk the time you're going to ride.